And this is from a pilot who knows what speed, utility, dart, and everything else, and G-forces and everything. And he's saying basically it's going at least 8 times faster than he could. Hi guys, Rod here again. See more reactions. Right, now tonight I'm going to do part 2 of Aliens Amongst Us, Reliable Military UFO Witnesses. Alright, so I'm going to go on from where I left off. I should think this bit is where it probably gets a little bit more into the actual thing. So basically we will just go straight from where I left off exactly, and we'll continue with there. Alright, but first, if you're new to the channel or old to the channel and haven't subscribed, please do so. Alright, please do so indeed. Don't forget to hit that notification button, and then that way you'll know everything that's going on. Alright, any comments please leave below, and if you do like it and you want to share it, please do so. Alright, so without no further ado, we will carry on part 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 en la pantalla. Síguelo, no lo cierres.
And in 2016, the Chilean government declassifies and releases footage taken from one of their Navy helicopters. Twice during the encounter, the UFO ejects an unknown material into the air, which is only visible on the infrared spectrum. To the naked eye, the object itself is barely visible.
So if this is true, and they're doing this, what are they spraying into the air? Is it some sort of enzyme? Is it something to make us think a bit better? Is it something to enhance us, you know, bring us down a peg? Strange. Very, very strange indeed.
The substance it expels disappears straight into the clouds. Many experts, including aeronautical engineers, were unable to explain this unidentified flying object. Even the British are at it. In recently declassified UFO files from the Ministry of Defense was a story of a fighter pilot, Milton Torres, ordered to shoot down and destroy an unidentified flying object. Here in an interview with Sky News, he talks about his experience.
Milton Torres, he's in Miami for us, and over 50 years ago he was ordered to shoot down a UFO when he was based in Britain, and he was flying over East Anglia, wasn't far over Norwich City, and he was told to shoot down what appeared to be a huge object.
You could say,
hey?
You could say it was somewhere between Norwich and Ipswich. It was right in that area.
Between Norwich and Ipswich.
I know that you locked on, and then there was nothing to fire at because this thing went like the speed of sound at, say, 10,000 miles an hour.
I have no idea. It was 10 Mach. 10
Amazing.
Mach, at least.
You must have, I mean, for the last 50 years, this thing must have haunted you,
10,000 miles an hour.
It certainly
Basically,
did.
1 minute was there, and the next minute wasn't.
The worst possible way. This is the sort of thing a scientist wants to dig his teeth into.
Did you do some research on it?
Are you there? Say again?
I was just wondering, have you spent a lot of time researching into what it might have been, what it could have been?
Well, yes, I did. I did a lot of researching on my own, but I found nothing that we knew of. So that's the best I could come with it. It was just way too fast and way too... well, let's put it this way. It aberrated all of the laws of Newton that Sir Isaac Newton put in place. So that's why.
And this is from a pilot who knows what speed, utility, dart, and everything else, and G-forces and everything. And he's saying basically it's going at least 8 times faster than he could. So, you know, he's going to be retrieved by it because you just can't figure out, and a pilot must be even worse than for anybody because he's seeing something that officially shouldn't be there that can go 7 times faster than what he can go, and he doesn't even know if that's full power.
I know it was something different.
No
And it
wonder he's
certainly wasn't,
intrigued.
you don't feel you could have been fooled by reflections in the sky. There was something solid, something tangible
No, there were
there.
2 of us. There were 2 of us, myself and my wingman. And my wingman, for the life of me, I cannot remember who he was. But whoever he was, I just didn't know who
You
the
can
hell
remember
besides
who he was,
myself
but you're
could
not
be
saying
seeing
who he
this.
was, 'cause
There
he
were
doesn't
2
wanna know.
radars up there, not just one, and the GCI radar as well.
When you went up to fly again after that, I mean, did you always think I might see it again?
That's 3 radars.
Well, I always hoped, but I never saw it again.
And what about other pilots? Did you ever talk to other pilots about it? I mean, did other pilots say,
Yes,
yeah, I've seen
talked to
something?
several others. I've talked to several of them, and most of them have said they've seen something, but they didn't know what it was.
But
And
presumably,
that's about the bottom line.
but everybody like you presumably was sworn to silence and sort of threatened by the government to keep your mouth shut or lose your job.
Well, let me tell you why it was so scary to me. They promised to take me out of my airplane, and I loved my airplane more than I loved anything, including my mother. You know, so as far as I was concerned, that was heresy to talk like that.
Same old story. Cover up,
When they said
cover
that,
up,
they got
cover up.
my obedience.
Sounds like they got your attention, and you got ours as well. Milton Torres, it's been a pleasure talking to you here on Sky News. Thank you very much for joining us from Miami.
And yet, even as its allies declassify selective
Said one word about it, and that'd have been it. His flying career would have been over. What are they trying to cover up? I mean, he was sent up to destroy whatever this was. And they seem to want to cover everything up all of the time. I'm telling you, the whole thing is a conspiracy. You know, they know that there's life
information
on
on this
other
phenomenon.
planets. I'm
The
telling
American
you.
institutions remain tight-lipped. The one country
Obviously,
in
if
the
you
world
don't agree with
qualified
me,
to know and take
leave
us
some
into
comments.
the age of disclosure continues to evade and deceive this solid evidence that only the meek-minded could deny, and the reason why may be more frightening than a hostile alien invasion itself.
Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political,
Yeah, so you
even
say.
spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger
It's
our
just
liberty
talking a load of
or
garbage,
democratic
isn't he?
processes. We should take
That's
nothing
just
for granted.
big words sewn together to
Only
make
an
it
alert
sound
and
good.
knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together. Akin to and largely responsible for the sweeping changes in our industrial military posture has been the technological revolution during recent decades. In this revolution, research has become central. It
Yeah,
also
exactly.
becomes more formalized, complex, and costly. A steadily increasing share is conducted for, by, or at the direction of the federal government. Today, the solitary inventor, tinkering in his shop, has been overshadowed by task forces of scientists in laboratories and testing fields. In the same fashion, The Free University, historically the fountainhead of free ideas and scientific discovery, has experienced a revolution in the conduct of research. Partly because of the huge costs involved, a government contract becomes virtually a substitute for intellectual curiosity. For every old blackboard, there are now hundreds of new electronic computers. The prospect of domination of the nation's scholars by federal employment.
So where did the knowledge for the computers come from in the first place? In less than 20 years from when this was going on.
Research and discovery
it happened basically overnight.
We must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite. It is the task of statesmanship to mold, to balance, and to integrate these and other forces, new and old, within the principles of our democratic system, ever aiming toward the supreme goals of our free society.
In 1997, talk show host Art Bell received this disturbing phone call from a man claiming to have worked at Area 51. As this call was unfolding, the entire radio station was knocked off air and only returned on backup systems, with the caller never to be heard of again.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start.
He sounds nervous and very worried.
They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
You can't spend a lot of time on the phone, so give us something quick.
Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
If this call was legitimate, it would mean that the human race would be in imminent danger and would explain an alien agenda.
Well, he obviously believes it himself, because that bloke was terrified, and he was more terrified from the government than he was anything else. And to think that they cut the whole radio station and knocked it right off, that is some incredible power to just be able to say, switch it off, and he was off. But if there was any incredibility in it, why would they even bother to turn it off? Surely it had to be more in their interest to let it go on, and laugh it off. But to cut it off, it makes you think, well, hang on, why have they cut it off? Is there more to this than meets the eye?
Could imagine.
The aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
One thing is for certain. UFO sightings are on the rise. In 2017, reports of craft and unusual phenomena are already higher than any year before. There is a build-up of activity and an increasing call for disclosure.
Well, that certainly don't look like circus lights. Is that, I take it, the mothership?
with even
just
past
don't know,
presidents
do we?
now
We
alluding
really
to
don't
something
know.
locked away deep inside the circle
We
of
sit
secrecy.
here all
It
in
would
our
seem
own
we're
little
heading towards a
world,
penultimate
and at
conclusion
the
to
end of
this
the day, we
age-old
don't
question.
know a bloody thing that's really
I got
going
a letter
on.
from
Not a
13-year-old
thing.
Ryan from
We all
Belfast.
worry about this
Now, Ryan, if
pandemic,
you're
we
out
worry
in the crowd
about that,
tonight,
we're worried about
here's
the
the
other.
answer to your question.
Maybe
No. As far
that's
as
what they've
I
been
know,
spraying about,
an
for all we
alien
know.
spacecraft did not crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. And Ryan,
As far
if
as
the
he
United
knows,
States Air
because he's
Force
not been
did
told,
recover alien bodies,
or he has.
they didn't tell me about it either, and I want to know.
Tell me about the time you once saw a UFO.
Well, I was the district governor of 56 Lions clubs in southwest Georgia, and I had to visit all the Lions clubs and make a speech. And I was outside a school lunchroom one night, right before sundown. It was getting dark, and we were getting ready to eat supper. And I and about 25 men were standing around, and all of a
Credible
sudden,
witness.
in the western
Not
sky,
like us.
we saw
We're not
a
witnesses,
strange
we're
light
just
coming toward us, a
Joseph.
round light. And it got closer and closer, and right above the pine trees, it stopped. And then it began to change colors from blue to red to white. And then it stayed there for a while. We were all aghast. We didn't know what it was. And then it just disappeared into the west. That was the end of it. So it was a genuine UFO in that it was an unidentified flying object.
It's time to prepare. The baton is now passed to you, the believers, the knowers, the truthers. Share this movie on to friends and family, and to anyone who will listen. And don't forget, join us on our journey of disclosure.
Well, has it made any of you skeptics into believers, or believers into skeptics? Let me know below. It opens your eyes, doesn't it? I mean, there's just too much of it going on for it. I mean, I'm still, although I've seen things myself, you know, it's still, is it, ain't it? Is it, ain't it? And obviously we're not going to know until such times as it really blows up big. So, until then, we don't know. So, keep your eyes up there, like I said yesterday. Have a look in the sky sometimes. If it's a nice evening, have a little look around. You will see satellites just moving along slowly, and you'll think that. But just look for something that's going very, very fast, and I mean really fast. And then try and let your brain wangle out whether it's true or false, or whether you really are seeing what you're seeing or you're not. Because until you've actually seen something, it is hard to put into words, really. Like I said, I've seen it myself, so I'm not a skeptic, I am a believer. But we'll just have to see what happens on this one, won't we? We'll know when we know, and not until. Anyway, you take care, keep your eyes up in the air, like I said, see what you can see. You take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that. Just going to do a little quick message now for all you people that might have some videos that you'd like me to react to. Please send them to me. All you got to do is go onto the copy bit, copy it, and then paste it onto my email address right there. And I'll come straight through to me without any problems at all. Alright, and obviously because of legalities, if I can do them, I will definitely do them. Alright, and I will pre-warn you first that I'm going to be doing them as well, okay? So, yeah, if you've got any that you'd like me to react to, just send them to that email address, okay? Alright, don't forget, if you old or new to this channel and you've not subscribed yet, please do so. Don't forget to press the notification button in the corner, and also don't forget to leave comments below. You like the video, that's the previous video there, okay? Just press on it and you can go back to that one, and so on for all of them. Yeah, okay, so you look after yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye.